Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I have Twan and I have Dominik, and we are going to talk Melodi Grand Prix. So we've just seen the fourth semi-final of this year's Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix, and well, you guessed it, we're going to talk about it. So the show first of all started off with the first duel, which was Marianne and Mikkel, who were up against Landevines, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah,
So
something like
Twan,
that.
what did you think of the first duel and Marianne and Mikkel?
I think the right song won the duel. I thought I loved the song Pages. I thought it wasn't really similar to Kaino, but it gave me the same feel. But it was more of a ballad. I do prefer Kaino though, obviously. But I still thought it was good, and I'm happy they made the gold duel. I also like the other song, what I thought was a little weak, and it was missing something.
Yeah, so I'm happy about the result as well.
Cool.
Yes.
And out of the two songs, which one did you prefer? Marianne and Mikkel or Landevines?
I prefer Pages.
Pages. Yeah, I think I would probably, do you know what, I think I'm going to disagree as usual, and I'm going to say that the group, the Landevines Helter group, was probably my favourite of the two songs. The first song was kind of, I didn't quite understand it, because at first I thought, okay, it's going to be a ballad, and we have this kind of yoiking man coming on stage that just completely kind of makes me so confused, and I'm like, okay, we have a yoiking ballad. Doesn't really work for me, but it was an interesting mix. But I kind of feel like compared to Kaino, they do yoiking much better than this song does. So I was quite surprised to see them qualify to the Golden Duel. But I mean, hey, congratulations to them anyway. And then in the second kind of duel, we had Kim versus Ryan. Two big songs, in my opinion, up against each other. Dominik, what did you think of this duel?
Yeah, so it was a very good choice in terms of the duo because they were so different. So we had Kim with a very impressive ballad, and it was a really thoughtful staging. It was very minimalistic. So there were two dances with, interpretive dancing with ropes, and he was just standing there and hitting every single note. He really nailed it. He was amazing. Yeah. And then on the other hand, we had Circus, and it was like, okay, how much do you want? And she was like, yes, everything, go for it. So it was a lot, maybe too much, but at least she tried. So good for her. I think she tried her best, and I think the right song won though. So he was better vocally. The thing is, it's pretty hard to do something vocally with the song Circus because it's quite on the same level. So it's not really possible to showcase the voice. I think she did a good job vocally and overall, but I was pretty happy about the result, especially because I think it was a bit flat in terms of it was always on the same level and not really progressing. And it was also distracting because you weren't really focusing on her. I mean, she's the main act, she's the focus, and you were like, oh, I want to see this one and this one, and oh, she's singing, okay, and this one, you know what I mean? So maybe that's what happened here.
Well, I'm going to disagree. I agree with the fact that Kim's staging and vocals were really good, but my favorite of the duel was Royan. It's an absolute guilty pleasure of mine. I do agree with the fact that the song was kind of flat, that it didn't go anywhere. I kind of also noticed that I think she sang one octave down from the studio version, but I'm not really sure. I do like the staging, except for the fact that she was wearing a weird wig that didn't really fit her. It just looked kind of off. I just would have preferred her to have her normal hair. Yeah, but the staging concept was really cool. I think it just needed a little more little more to be more slick. It needed a little more. It needed to be more concentrated on her and less on the act surrounding her. That was my problem with that. But then I still think that Royan should have won the duel because that was my favorite.
So I think I'm going to have to agree with Dominik on this one, in that Kim was the rightful winner of this kind of duel. I think maybe Royan's song was maybe more kind of entertaining and the whole performance was a lot more eye-catching and kind of happy sounding, positive, upbeat, and there was something going on. But I feel like Kim definitely had the better vocals and definitely kind of, even though his performance was very simple and stripped back, I feel like you were able to focus on him and the song more so than with Royan, because with Royan, like Twan said, there was so much going on stage. It was a bit distracting. So even though it was good, it was kind of distracting at the same time, if that makes sense. So yeah, for me, I think Kim was the rightful winner of this duel, definitely, and the rightful winner of the semi-final, in my opinion. But we also had the pre-qualified finalist as well, Atle Peterson, performing his song World on Fire. So, Twan, are you a fan?
I have to admit, I didn't see the live performance. I did hear, because I was watching Melodi Festivalen, I did hear the studio version, and from what I've heard, I thought it was okay. I don't think it's anything special. I don't really think it's a contender for the win. I think it's just him showing off what he can do and maybe becoming more known to the wider public. I'm not sure how known he is in Norway, but I think it's a decent song. I think it's good.
Yeah, so I have seen the live performance and the staging was great. It was very nice play with the lighting, especially. So the staging was red, and that was cool. He also had very good dance moves. So I can say he is a good dancer, especially because he was playing with a microphone stander. That was so cool. It was really flipping like this and stuff, and he was flipping around. So that was cool. I must say the song, I preferred the studio version. So it was fine, but he struggled a bit with the high notes, which is a pity because like there's a very high note you really need to hit this one, and he didn't. But hey, it's just like a preview, so it's not the real final performance, so it's fine. He tried, and I'm pretty sure he can nail it next time in the final. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think, this is kind of like almost kind of like a practice for him before the big show in the final. But I think I would have to agree. I think the staging and the dancing was better than the song and his vocals. I think they were quite weak. And I think compared to the other songs we have in the final, especially, for example, Kano and Rayleigh and people like this, I think his song is going to struggle to stand out amongst some of the really big popular names like that. So it's a good song. It was a good effort, but I think it's going to struggle when you got all these other kind of big hitters in the final, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that's obviously what we think. We would love to know what you guys think. So drop a comment down below and let us know what you think of this heated semi-final 4, this Norway semi-final 4 heat. Got there eventually. But until next time, don't forget to give this video a like, thumbs up, and to subscribe. And until next time, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.